Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. Today I want to talk with you about your child's friends, encouraging good ones, helping develop good ones for your kids. Judith Rich Harris did research that found that a child's peers, may affect kids more than even parents do. Well, but certainly there's no argument that peer influence is important, certainly key to a child's development, and pleasure. So here are some thoughts on how you, as a parent, can support your child in developing good friendships. First, ask. Go beyond, what did you do in school today? Too often the answer is, nothing. Better to ask, what are the best and worst parts of school today? And if you're trying to encourage a new friendship, you might occasionally ask something like, which kid or two do you like best in school? Or in their after-school activity. Then, without seeming like a police interrogator, vet that child. For example, what do you like best about him or her? If the answer makes you want to encourage the friendship, you then might ask, would you like to invite, say, Jamie to the house or to do something else after school or on the weekend? If what your child says he or she likes best about that kid is, he's cool, an additional question might tease out what cool means. Does it mean friendly, relaxed, and liking to do what your child likes, rather than, she threw a firecracker at a squirrel? If your child had befriended someone you like and hasn't seen or spoken about for a while, you might ask something like, you haven't mentioned Jamie nor had him to the house for a while. Any problem with the relationship? It could be simply that your child needed a reminder, or if there's a problem, your question could yield an answer that opens the door to a conversation that solves the problem. For example, maybe Jamie or your child did something that offended. A brief chat could generate a solution, such as realizing that Jamie didn't mean to hurt you, or you're asking, do you want to apologize to Jamie? What about the child who lacks friends? Some kids prefer to spend most discretionary time alone. I know a child who prefers to spend most discretionary time reading, watching TV, playing video games, listening to music, practicing guitar, shooting hoops by himself, taking walks, and yes, staring out the window. Pressure from his parents to be more social merely makes that kid sadder and more oppositional. But if you're not sure whether your child would be wise to be more social, consider asking your child if he or she would like to make a good friend or two. If the answer is yes, then you might ask, is there someone specific you might like to be friends with? If your child offers a name or two, ask whether your child wants to invite that kid home, or to play with him or her more at recess, or something else. Next, be a welcoming parent. Most kids are quite sensitive to whether they're welcomed in someone's home, so it's worth doing the obvious. When the child arrives, smile with eye contact, maybe offering a snack. But unless you have good reason to worry, for example, that they'll be doing drugs, don't hover. Most kids want and deserve privacy. That said, do feel free to ask if they'd like to join you in, for example, baking something, going on an errand together, whatever. And as the friendship deepens, inviting the child to sleep over or join the family on a weekend outing. Now let's turn to puppy love. Your child's first foray into love and sexuality can, of course, be fraught. The goal is to strike the balance between being open-minded enough that your child feels he or she can talk with you, but not so open-minded that you surrender your core values. For example, you might believe that your 15-year-old is too likely to be badly hurt if he or she had sexual intercourse and then the partner broke up. Certainly, if you sense that puppy love is afoot, it is time to ask, for example, you talk about David quite a bit. Do you want to tell me how you feel about him? Now let's turn to how to deal with a friend who's a bad influence. Let's say you're unhappy with one of your child's friends. For example, the kid cuts school, does drugs, and encourages rebellion just for the hell of it. You probably want to be firm in trying to stop that relationship. Of course, your child could sneak, but I'd be inclined to say something like, you've earned considerable freedom, but I'm concerned enough about Chris that I'm going to ask you to stop seeing him. Can you understand why? Now, in conclusion, of course, individual situations require more nuance than can be jammed into a short talk like this. But I do believe that the advice I'm offering here will build the chances of most kids having friendships that both your child and you can feel good about. In any event, I'm Marty Nemko. I thank you for watching. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.